Hey everyone, this is going to be just a little bit different than we normally have it. And we're going to wait for people to come in. The meeting won't start till 1:30. So I'll wait for people to come in. And welcome to the stream to whoever just popped in. This is going to be, as I said, it's going to be a little bit different. I've got the Chicago website up for the city clerk's office. And I put some instructions. Hey, Haggis. So I put some instructions down in the description tab. It's quite a bit of instructions. It's a little bit different for this meeting than the LA City ones. In the Chicago meetings, and this is the meeting of the joint meeting of the City Council for Public Safety, Fire, and Police. And in the description or in the public comment section, you can put written public comment given it's given in by the day before by 5 o'clock Central Time. Okay, thank you, Haggis. I appreciate it. As I said, this is going to be just a little bit different for me because I have to figure out how to do it all when the meeting starts to get the audio on my phone to come into you guys. Because when you do, hey Cinderella, when you do the a Chrome versus Explorer, which or whatever I am, Mozilla, then you don't pick up the audio. So I have to put it on my phone. Hi, Gina Marie. And we will get it to work. It'll take me probably a second or two to get it in there. And this is going to be, as I said, the joint meeting between police and fire. And I really wanted to do public comment. What they do for public comment is you call in and you leave a message to what number you're going to be sitting at, kind of like phone a friend. And hey, Wendy City, great. I'm glad that you are on. And so you call in and you leave a number that you can be reached at the day before. And then at meeting time, they'll call you when it's public comment time and it's your turn to have you do public comment. I have never done it that way before. I didn't get my request in on time because I really didn't even know we could. I just thought we would be listening to it. So next time for sure. They only take 5 people in person, 5 people on the phone. A meeting like this, I'm sure it probably would be pretty easy to be one of the 5. So I think that would be an okay deal. Maybe in the real regular full force city council, you probably wouldn't have a chance in hell. I'm sure they probably don't have the 10-person limit. Yeah, it's very convoluted, Amy. I'm certainly isn't just calling in and joining Zoom, huh? And I really didn't even know that they had the audio online option available. So, well, let's just see how it goes. I'm really interested to hear what they have to say, though. Um, it's a joint meeting for police and fire. It may be a bust, but let's see what their flavor is. Let's see how they act toward one another. Now, at the time the meeting starts, I guess there will be a flyer, a scrolling bar going across the top, or it'll pop up for us to push the button to join the meeting. It's supposedly as easy as that. I know when I went to the police board meeting, it was that easy. But let's see. Wendy, you still in Ohio? I guess this is just the way we start with our research and figuring out how we need to speak to them. And I've said it in the past, LA meetings are quite colorful, and they use a lot of F-bombs. They have a lot of shock value for different speakers. I've always been one to be really respectful, and I think you get more with honey than you do with the BS. So, uh, and I'm sure as a subcommittee of the city council, this probably will be pretty tame. Hopefully not too long, but hopefully it'll be tame. Yeah, systemic bureaucracy at the finest. Yep, Gina. You would think they would make public participation the easiest way, so that way people would participate. I guess it's a way of them not having people show up or say things, because if they made it too easy, then it would be, I guess, too many trolls. That if you really want to speak in this environment, you have to learn it. Definitely a way to discourage. Amy, you are so right with that. And you almost need a frickin' PhD to figure out how to do it within city to city. I bet you there is probably a degree out there from a college on how to interact. Is it easier in person or online or both? You know, I'm gonna say it probably would be easier in person. You still have to sign up when you get there, it says in person, with the sergeant of arms, Wendy, and then they call you if there was more than 5 people. I think they say they do it at random on who gets picked for the 5 people there. Now, as I said, I can't imagine that only 10 people total is for the whole city council. Yeah, I do too. I always get the butterflies in my stomach too, Amy, when I go in live or in person. And then of course you get nervous and then you have to pee right at the last minute. Ah, that never fails, never fails. But Wendy, I think a good strategy could be for the meetings that matter is for several of us to call in and having a couple of voices. So at least it's like when Audit and I do the LAPD commission, they have a 45-minute time frame that they'll only take public comment. And so they'll do in person, online for 3 minutes each way. So really that's only 15 people that are going to be heard. And and when that happens, it's just a luck of the draw. And if you didn't click or raise your hand quick enough, you don't get picked. And so if you had 20 people there, it makes it a little bit harder to randomly be the one to get picked. But then if you all have the same voice and the same flavor of message, then somebody probably is going to get picked. Just statistics. My brother lives in Kentucky. So let's see, I'm going to go to that page and see if there's any. Um, I don't see a flyer yet. I don't see a scroll bar. I'm going to pop down. Meeting notices. The next regular city council meeting is October 9th at 10 a.m. And here's a link for the public comment process. I am not going to click on it because I don't want to screw up the page I've got going. As I said, the whole process is down in the description box. I don't see a scroll. It is only 12:25 for Central Time. It's just interesting. If this process works today, then it would be cool to be able to do this live for everybody. Yeah, I still don't see no scroll, no button to push yet. No, so this I asked Henry to help me because he's the king of streaming while he's on his phone into the meetings, so he just helped me to try and figure it out. He said he'd walk me through maybe doing OBS later to try and figure it out on that way. I don't know why everything's got to be so technically hard. You should just be able to go, poof, this is what I want. Wiggle my nose. Amy, you did excellent yesterday. And in your testimonies, in your comments lately, you've been doing awesome. Thank you for showing up. Really appreciate it. And you've been really good about being on purview, being on topic. I remember, oh, thanks. So I remember when I used to be on the other side of the council meetings, the other side of the member meetings, the boards, and we used to have this one lady that would come in all the time, kind of like a goat puppet. And oh man, every time she would come in, we're like, oh no, not her again. And because she was always off topic, even though it was public comment and general comment, she was always off topic. And we always knew she was going to talk about her husband not getting into the bar, that there was a conspiracy theory that her husband um, wasn't going to get into the bar. They were keeping him out and blah, 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 blah. So we always knew what she was going to talk about. But it was just annoying at best. So I try not to be that annoying person. I know what I'm going to talk about, but I always try and stay at least on topic enough that they don't feel like that they need to roll their eyes and run. Because I want them to listen. You want the people, even though it doesn't look like they're listening, they are. They're listening. They have one ear open. Is my sound coming in too loud, soft? Do a sound check for me, please. Cool. Thank you, Haggis. Well, it is 1:29. Let's see if they have a button yet. I do not see a button yet. Hey, I'm on a live, son. Sorry, noises from the other room. The dog's being a pain. She's been whining and crying and limping, and she hurt her hip the other day. I think she fell off the bed, honestly. And she can't walk, and she cries about it until you have food. And then she can run like a puppy. Amazing how that works. Okay, people, let's go. It is 12:30. Time for the show to start. Let's go. I'm going to stay over on that page. Maybe I'll look on my phone to see if how that is doing. That's the meeting video archive. That is the archive. I don't want the archive. Hey, Mandy. And I'm wondering, do I need to refresh or will it automatically go there? Let me see. Uh-oh, did I see something flash? See, the issue is you never know whether or not they're running late, if they're running on time. Let me see if there's, oops. Oh man. See, that's what I didn't want. See, that's the archives. That's about vehicle stickers. We don't care about vehicle stickers. They certainly do not make this easy at all. Ah, here we go. Watch. Oh, come on. I've got it on here. It's on my phone, you guys. Ta-da-da. Okay, we're going to make it big. Crap. Now I can't go to see you guys. I'm going to make it small until it gets started. I've unmuted the broadcast on my phone. I think we might be able to do this, you guys. Sorry for the dog barks. Yeah, they're big dogs. They're both about 200 pounds. So they get noisy at times. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep them quiet. Thanks, Agus Basher. Well, she's being polite about it. The only time they really get nuts is when the UPS or the FedEx guy gets here and they go nuts over that. Yes, Cinderella, this was kind of a tutorial for me too on how to do this technically. So I really, really wish I could have done a public comment. If I would have read it sooner that I could have and what I needed to do it. Yeah, that's okay. Live and learn. But on the other end of it, we know that public comment isn't going to go on for 5 hours for this, that it is limited public comment, so we're not stuck on the darn meeting for 5 hours when we get to talk for 2 minutes.
City of Chicago City Council Rules of Conduct for Public Meetings, 2023 to 2027, pursuant to the Chicago City Council Rules of Order.
Can you hear that?
Rule 49, the Sergeant Arm sets forth the following rules of conduct to be followed during the public comment period and the duration of all committee and city council meetings. Profane, vulgar, threatening, abusive, or disruptive language is not permitted. Demeaning, discriminatory, or harassing behavior and speech directed towards others is not permitted. Disruptive behavior, including disruptive or disrespectful content during others' presentations, is not permitted. Banners, flyers, or signage are not permitted. Backpacks, large bags, and sharp objects are not permitted. Clear bags, not tinted in color, that do not exceed 12 by 12 by 6 inches, will be permitted and are subject to search. Health food and beverages, including in metal canisters, are not permitted. Cell phones must be placed on silent prior to entering the meeting room. Individuals must remain seated. Public comment speakers are permitted to stand only when providing public comment. Small handheld devices may be used only while seated, and the user must refrain from interfering with the view or hearing of other individuals. Individuals or groups failing to adhere to these rules will be asked to cease such disruptive content, and failure to comply will result in their being subject to removal from the meeting by the Sergeant at Arms.
Is that just a black screen on your part of it?
City of Chicago City Council Rules of Conduct for Public Meetings, 2023 to 2027, pursuant to the Chicago City Council Rules of Order and Procedure. Rule 49, the Sergeant Arm sets forth the following rules of conduct to be followed during the public comment period and the duration of all committee and city council meetings. Profane, vulgar, threatening.
Can you see it? Can you see the coin now? Okay, cool. Thank you, Amy.
Discriminatory or harassing behavior and speech directed towards others is not permitted. Disruptive behavior, including disruptive or disrespectful content during others' presentations, is not permitted. Banners, flyers, or signage are not permitted. Backpacks, large bags, and sharp objects are not permitted. Clear bags, not tinted in color, that do not exceed 12 by 12 by 6 inches, will be permitted and are subject to search. Health food and beverages, including in metal canisters, are not permitted. Cell phones must be placed on silent prior to entering the meeting room. Individuals must remain seated. Public comment speakers are permitted to stand only when providing public comment. Small handheld devices may be used only while seated, and the user must refrain competent failure to comply will result in their being subject to removal.
It is Twilight. It's a robot right now. We're waiting for it to start. They were giving us instructions. Very authoritative.
The hour of 12:30 having arrived, pursuant to notice, the committee will be called to order by my Vice Chairman, Alderman Kelly Farrell. Chairman Hopkins, present. Vice Chair Yancey. Chairman Talaferro's president. Vice Chair Robinson. Alderman Hall. Alderman Mitchell. Alderman Chico. Alderwoman Lee. Alderwoman Gutierrez. Alderman Lopez. Alderman Curtis. Alderwoman Taylor. Alderman Mosley. Alderwoman Tavares. Alderwoman Tavares. Alderman Cicho Lopez. Alderwoman Fuentes. Alderman Irving. Alderman Cardona. Alderman Spazzato. Alderwoman Nugent. Alderman Vasquez. Alderman Napolitano. Alderman Knudsen. Alderman Gardner. Alderwoman Clay. Alderman Martin. Alderwoman Manat Huffenworth. Alderwoman Haddon. Alderwoman Silverstein. We have 15 members present. We do have a quorum. Thank you, Vice Chair. We also have a Rule 59 request from Alderman Irving and anyone else besides Alderman Irving had a Rule 59. Alderman Vatka, Knudsen, Irving, and I'm sorry, who was the third? Who else? Alderman Vatka, Chairman. Can I have a motion to allow for remote participation from the three owners? Moved by Alderman Mosley. Hearing no objections, so ordered. We will proceed with public testimony. You all know the rules, and you have 3 minutes. The first witness is Ms. Lawrence. Ms. Lawrence, are you present?
Good morning, all. And I want to start off with thanking all the older people who stood up for us with the spot shotter and stand on our side and voted against it. We appreciate that. So I'll start off with that. Now, let me just jump right in. Illinois Lawyer Now, presented by the Illinois State Bar Association. Watchdog organization found that Chicago police officers have routinely failed to document instances of traffic stops that do not end in arrest or charges. How do I know that? Because we are victims of that. And we have a problem with the police not doing that. Because it also talks about Superintendent Larry Snelling reporting this past June that traffic stops in Chicago were down by approximately 87,000 stops from last year. But what they find troubling is that these numbers are increased than what was stated on here. So there seems to be some conflict of information that's going on here. But again, Lawyers Bar Association, y'all. Next, CPD is intentionally not recording traffic stops so that they can claim they're fixing the problem. Well, let me tell you about an illegal driver that came down my street, tearing up cars. Bam, 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 until the wheel fell off. Yeah, did he get arrested? Absolutely not. But then when it comes to citizens, that you all are doing that. And the numbers here reported that Black citizens are the ones who are affected most by this. This is another issue. ClearPath, what a joke. Because ClearPath, no one responds to that. You send in your issues to them and you hear nothing back. These ClearPath people who's supposed to be in charge of this, I believe that is Superintendent Snelling. Yeah, well, come on, what's up with that? We need to get our safety in our neighborhoods. And we need to be heard when we are sending in complaints, problems that need to be addressed. They're not happening. So what are you all going to do about that? Our safety as well as traffic on these streets by illegal drivers who don't have insurance and who's not doing any good to our neighborhoods, but making it worse. So we can complain about what's happening already, but you all amplified that. And that needs to be addressed seriously because I'm telling you, we are flipping red. Whether you like it or not, we're flipping red because this party has really done damage to the Black communities even more so. So you're going to see our works.
The next public speaker is Jenny Schaefer. Jenny Schaefer.
Hi, my name is Jenny Schaefer. I'm a district council member in the 19th Police District. We have been talking with our community about the important role of the workforce allocation study and helping our department employ data-driven strategies to effectively and efficiently use their resources. This is not only a priority of our district council and our community members, but leaders across the city, including the independent monitoring team and the Inspector General's office, have all stressed the need for this type of work to be completed. As you know, the City Council also passed an ordinance in December requiring a workforce allocation study be completed. The ordinance spelled out very specific requirements, including that within 90 days, the department will enter an agreement with a third party to conduct the staffing analysis. It is September, 9 months later, and we still do not have all the parties signed on to that contract. Additionally, the ordinance states that the department will provide quarterly updates on the progress of the work. The latest update was due September 1st, and we are still waiting to receive that. Given that it is a widely agreed upon by community and city leaders, I'm asking that this committee recommit to prioritizing this work and ensuring that progress on the workforce allocation study happens in a more timely manner moving forward, including that we get the promised update from CPD before the end of next week. Thank you.
The next public speaker is Tawan Sims.
Wendy, I can't type or else I'll lose the screen. So we'll have to do questions and answers in a bit.
It's gonna have to be what you Good afternoon, committee. How y'all doing?
Afternoon.
So, I wonder if the city of Chicago knew that they was electing a mayor that promised to erode public safety into the point where we at right now. So on the 22nd, I suppose ShotSpotter was taken out of the city, leaving Black Americans once again in the dark, leaving Black Americans once again subject to that fate. And everybody in this room, like Fuentes, who having a conversation laughing because we a joke. We a joke. Hey, Walter Burnett, I'm from your neighborhood. I'm from the Henry Horner Projects, 44 years old. Remember me? You know, old that's standing across the street. That's my uncle. You know what I am. But we a joke. I just said in a meeting, they talking about 1901. We a joke, y'all. And y'all gonna have us dead and gone. But Burnett, they finna give you the zoning. A very powerful position. A position to allow for Black Americans to have work here in the city. But still, we're not gonna speak about that. I'm not. But we're a joke. And the city of Chicago, Black Americans are a joke, and our safety is a joke, and our health is a joke, and our children are a joke, and we're a joke. Fuentes, don't take a seat, keep laughing, keep talking, please. Let's go. Larry Snelling said this. He said we got to keep our eye on the ball. We got to keep our eye on the ball when still we have hundreds of Black Americans shot and killed in the last 3 months. But we're a joke, and y'all gonna take ShotSpotter? We're a joke. My 16-year-old child is a joke. My 3-year-old Yasuke is a joke. I'm a joke at a 44-year-old. Y'all all jokes. Every black American in this city is a joke. You said something against like black Americans. We not against police. We see the city going into darkness, a road. Y'all let illegals come here. Y'all let people come here. And it was a little girl that came up missing yesterday. Her mother took her. But what about the X amount of other children that came up missing that y'all haven't made headlines? Y'all haven't made headlines out there, but y'all gonna show that black woman to be a demon, ain't y'all? Because she abducted her child. But what about the black children that's been abducted? The 64,000 black women that's been taken that y'all ain't made a headline out of? We a joke. Y'all took shot spotters so y'all could laugh, so y'all could show y'all got the power. Hobson, if I could come to your crib, I could send them to your crib when that start happening. I'll send them first to you. I send them first to your home. When they start shooting, when it get real dark and bleak for us, I'm gonna send them to your house first. And every representative in this house, in this room house first. So that they can start extracting, taking. So they can start hurting. So you will feel it first. And then it'll trickle down to us, the nobodies, because we're a joke. I would. And I'm not saying that I'm for the violence. I'm against it, but y'all not against the violence against us. Y'all don't care about us. We're a joke.
The next speaker is Jessica Jackson.
Go lay down, buddy. Go lay down.
Good morning. Okay, Sims. Let's make this clear. Okay, let's make this clear. In terms of spots fire, just check the spots, that. Let's look at the voting thing, right? For that day, every white alderman voted in favor of keeping spots fire and whatever. In all fairness, every white alderman voted to keep it. Okay? The Hispanic aldermen voted against it. They voted against it. And then you had your pick selects of Brandon Johnson people, black aldermen, that Clay, Hall, Jeanette Taylor, Walter Burnett, that crew, Jason Irvin and them, they messed us up. I'm not even, y'all know, I don't even like with Spasada. Okay, yeah. But that day, what did he say? He spoke the most truth in here. After that vote, he said, this is the most hypocrisy I've ever seen. He said the fact that you all would give Superintendent Snelling those accolades and a resolution like that, then turn around and vote against the very items that he supports. That's what that man said. That's what he said. Because see, unlike a lot of y'all, whether I like a person or not, it doesn't change the fact that when somebody says something is true, it's true. And you stand on what's true.
Amen.
What's true is that day, Mayor Johnson rigged that vote like that. So that it was 33 that said yes, 14 that said no. He told Jeanette Taylor to stand down. That same Jeanette Taylor who on inauguration of Snelling sat up there and sang his praise about how they wanted him as the superintendent. Then Walter Burnett, the same alderman that makes it so clear that every time we talking, he get up and be a distraction and all that garbage. And then that Paul Robinson, who didn't vote at all, whose mother is an AKA who stood up that day with that resolution when the AKAs was here. So in all fairness, because that same weekend that Rosanna Sanchez, they had the shootout in her neighborhood over there in Irving Park. Soon as she voted against it. And then that other Asian alderman, I don't know how to say her name, so I'm sitting next to Fuentes. They had violence in her neighborhood, and she keep it down. So,
The next speaker is George Blakemore.
No, Twyla, maybe you could explain to what shot spotter is.
Went on. And this man from Beverly, he made a statement. I don't need spot or whatever. Whatever. He doesn't have high crime. He doesn't have abandoned buildings. He doesn't have non-functional parks and schools. So he sees that he didn't need it. And they can't. So there's something wrong with us black people. Of course, that won't stop crime. Economic development, help people, good schools and parks, inform people, educated people, enlightened people. That'll stop the crime. But it's after the crime have already been committed. See, Mr. Blakemore brings another dimension to, you heard those previous speakers? They was for it. This man said he didn't need it. Now, why do black people need it? High crime, the police abuse, poor education, no economic development, the parks. That's the reason why you need it. So sometimes the problem, black people, is you. You're your own problem. Not spot problem. You. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. You are your problem. And you are your solution. But whatever, you can stop it by demanding good schools, economic development, by demanding from the police that it's not a crime to be walking while black, talking while black, jogging while black, just being black. You can stop it, but you refuse to do it because on the plantation, the master made a nigger. You got to purge yourself of niggers and become strong black men and women. You must teach them how to treat you. That's the issue. When that man from Beverly got up and said, I don't need it. Why do you need it? Why do you blacks need it? Because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be healthy. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. You must. There's something wrong with you. The machine, the democratic machine. Go red. Go red. Can you hear these other people speak? And then they say, Mr. George,
Please add Alderwoman Gutierrez and Alderwoman Fuentes to the quorum roll call, and add Alderman Moore and Alderman Burnett to the attendance roll call. The next speaker is Zoe Lee.
People ask me all the time, especially since the last 30 days, so what's the plan? And this is for those who've been asking. Any man who respects himself understands his role in society as a protector of the family, the woman, the provider, and the backbone of the community must vote red at the federal level. Why? Because putting another foreigner in the White House who isn't a true Black American, who can't even comfortably speak on Black American issues, is not what we need. How can we vote for a former prosecutor to lead this country when we just witnessed 2 innocent Black men executed within a week? As an attorney, an HBCU graduate, and AKA, neither she nor Biden, both lawyers, bothered to reach out to Merrick Garland or Christian Clark, the Attorney General and Assistant Attorney General of the United States. That's exactly what the Department of Justice is for. Meanwhile, Democratic socialists run on the defund police campaign, but look at what's happening in Chicago, Atlanta, and LA. Police cities and facilities being built up under Democratic leadership. I'm just getting so mad. I can never at its finest. To truly protect civil protection in America, we must vote red. Then we can work on removing these Black sellouts and Democratic, Socialist, Hispanic, KKK with the help of the cartel running cities since the pandemic from the local and state offices. We must be politically sophisticated, develop an agenda and plan of execution. All hands on deck. This is the moment to stand up, protect our communities, and take control. It's 39 days and counting until election. And we have to go back to moderate. There's no moderation in politics. And it's to the extreme. So as far as for me and for my peoples who are following me, we're voting for Trump.
There being no further public speakers who registered in a timely manner, we will proceed with the matters of the day on the agenda after we add Alderman Robinson to the quorum call. The first item is the annual report on public safety from the Inspector General. Inspector General Deb Witzberg is here. She will present her report and then
let's listen to the reports, and then I'll turn it off if we want.
Many other important points I would remind the committee members in her committee report. So you are free to ask for questions on anything that demands further explanation.
I do want to hear the OIG report,
Good
though.
afternoon. Thank you for having us. I'm Deborah Witzberg. I'm Inspector General for the City of Chicago. I'm here with Tabara Richardson, who is our Deputy Inspector General for Public Safety. To start, Deputy IG Richardson is going to give an overview of the 2023 annual report from our public safety section. This report to this joint committee is a requirement of the municipal code. So we will start there, answer any questions about the annual report, and then I'm happy to talk about ShotSpotter thereafter.
Thank you. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Chairman Hopkins, Chairman Talia Farrell, members of the Public Safety Committee, members of the Police and Fire Committee, and each of you. Thank you for having us. As the Inspector General just said, my name is Tabara Richardson, and I serve as the Deputy Inspector General for Public Safety. Today, I am here to talk to you about the awesome work that the Public Safety Section did in 2023. In the annual report, you all will see what was published by the Public Safety Section in 2023 and data analysis from 2023. Because the report is available online, you can go to igchicago.org. In the search button, if you put annual report, it should be the second or third item listed. It's available there. And then we also provided the public safety report to you all. So since you all have that, I will give you a high level overview of what is contained therein. With regard to strategic priorities, the public safety section has adopted 3 strategic priorities to guide its work. First, improving CPD's administrative and operational competencies. Second, ensuring transparency, fairness, and consistency in the police accountability system. And third, ensuring that Chicagoans' constitutional and civil rights are sufficiently and equitably protected. With regards to our approach, the public safety section serves these priorities through 3 mechanisms. First, by conducting audit-based inquiries and reviews. Second, by inspecting individual closed disciplinary investigations conducted by the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, COPA, and the Bureau of Internal Affairs within CPD, BIA. And third, by collecting and analyzing data from CPD and city resources on policing and the police disciplinary system. So I'm going to talk about the work that we've done in those 3 areas. First, beginning with the public safety section's audit-based inquiries and reviews. Last year, the public safety section published 9 products, well, including recommendations to inform and improve. That would actually be 12 products.
Do you guys want to finish listening to this, or do you want to just go back and listen to it on your own?
Was with regard to CPD's requirement to enforce CPD's rule against filing false reports, Rule 14, which prohibits CPD members from making a false report, written or oral. The truthfulness and credibility.
Okay, I'm gonna cut it. We can go watch all the rest of the politic part of it. Oh, sorry, Luna, Twyla. I know. What did you think of the public comment, though? What were your thoughts? What came to mind when you were listening to the public comments? I'll give you some of my thoughts if you don't mind, and then maybe you can weigh in if you want. But every speaker was eloquent. They spoke with their heart. They weren't shock valuing at all. They did talk somewhat about the same topics, except for a little bit of political. That's okay. You're always going to get that. It was definitely calmer than LA, that's for sure. Um, I didn't hear an F word, no profanities, nothing. And but they definitely spoke their heart, didn't they? I didn't really get a good feeling. I guess I was trying to make sure that the audio was there, and I didn't. Is the spot shotter, is that a good thing or a bad thing, do you think? Twyla, what did you think? Yeah, I heard a community not being heard. Frustration, that's for sure. Yeah, that technology, I'll have to look into seeing what it is. That's kind of a Big Brother thing. I have mixed thoughts, mixed emotions on that. I don't know that I'd want that type of technology to know what people are talking about, and if they could hear it as you're walking down the street, that'd be kind of scary. Big Brother-ish. It definitely would help, to be able to hear where shots are coming from. Yeah, I agree with that. So I don't know. I don't know how I would feel about that. I'd have to do a little bit more research on whether it really did any good. But it definitely, you heard frustration. And if I were, let's say I was able to get in. Oh wow, how scary, Twyla. That's definitely scary. But I'm wondering how they know exactly where it came from, though. How they get the direction or how they get the um, projection where it came from. It's just all kind of wild. I didn't even know. I didn't even know that existed. Guess what happens when, well, we have gunshots all the time, but it's usually because somebody took down a deer or a wolf or coyote. So then we hear the gunshots all the time, but they're of a rifle or a shotgun for different reasons, obviously. So if I were to comment after hearing all of that, I probably would um, use some type of verbiage the same. I would probably talk about not being heard, um, the injustice of what's been going on, especially with the Church of Scientology and Chicago police, how they're in bed with one another. That, I think, is where I would probably try and take that public comment, unless I had something written out. And every once in a while, something like this, I'll go, oh, what I wrote out just isn't even going to make sense, and it isn't going to get through their heads. I know it. So, are we being censored? Yeah, you didn't think about that. Sorry, Twyla. Yeah, I just realized that I was saying the G word and the R word. Oops. Yeah, I'm so used to being able to just say free speech that I forgot about those darn YouTube censors. Thanks for the reminder. So yeah, I'm really, really, really interested in. Oh, interesting. Twyla says triangulation time to different microphones. That's interesting. Again, I'm just gonna now my curiosity's piqued. I'm really curious as to how that works and what it is. Oh, you're right. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. I'm so used to saying SA and different things, but forgot about that. So I'm definitely gonna I posted the calendar link and it has a month out or at least a couple of weeks out. And I think that said the next city council meeting, I'm really interested in that. And I think I'm going to either provide public comment written the day before or try and get online. Because that's what we're finding. Audit and I both have looked, and when you do a public comment written, it can be more than even a page or two. You can get some good information in there and it gets handed out to everybody. So that might be a backdoor way to get a better information page out to them rather than stuck to 2 or 3 minutes. So that's an opportunity. And or if you do get picked for your public comment, then you get it twice as much. You get twice the fun. Oh, any questions or any further comments you guys want to make? And I know this has a lag time, so I'll give it a second or two. Yeah, that's a good one, Cinderella. Yep. I've had some revision, some better information, especially I do have a white paper that I'm working on. Crazy Love agreed to help me put it more into a writer's term versus my cut and dry way of writing. So she's helping me with it. But yeah, I'm trying to cut it down. It's up to 13 pages so far with all the resources. But it's going to be definitely good for the goose. So, okay, you guys, I am almost up to an hour here. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream if there are no other questions. I appreciate you guys doing this meeting with me, and let's find some more that we can call into and do more together. Let's get this horrendous issue done and over with over in Chicago. Thanks, you guys. I'm going to end now. Bye.